Going on, dudes and dudettes? So, yes, apparently the top wide receiver for USC football, Zachariah Branch, after his freshman season, is deciding to join the track and field team. It's pretty obvious because of how quick he was. I'm pretty sure he did it while in high school as well, up there in Nevada, but we'll see how he ends up doing and, officially going and how fast he is because he's probably going to run like 100 meters and all that stuff and do it in 10 seconds and under. At least he'll try, but yeah, it's always nice to add speed to your already really prolific Olympic USC track and field team. So looking forward to that. Then Juju Watkins, I think we had mentioned that there was like 3 different things she was named a player of the week this last week because of that big performance, the 51 points it was. But I did find out there were some other places that she was the player of the week as well. Obviously, the Pac-12, she had the freshman and player. There was an AP poll one. That was a new one I saw. The ESPN one was a new one. And another new one was I believe it's the United States Basketball Women's Association and the Naismith as well. I believe we mentioned on the last week when she did that record. So yeah, overall, it was a pretty impressive week for her. Obviously, as we mentioned too, about her being on that Slam magazine as well. So yes, big congrats to her. And then yes, speaking of a little bit more coming from the top 2025 quarterback, Julian Juju Lewis, who is committed to USC. Apparently he did recently say after that Georgia visit that he's still 100% locked in, still committed to USC. And that's obviously words that a lot of USC fans, especially some of us who pay attention to the recruiting stuff, like to hear, especially close to a year out to when he can finally commit to USC. But yes, overall, still going good. And I think he did mention he's liking a lot of the stuff that the new coaches at the University of Indiana are doing, some good stuff. And that only hurts if he ends up deciding to go there because it's also a Big Ten school and USC would have to face him every now and again. But yes, I'm hoping that, like he said, from his own quotes, that he is still locked in to USC. When it came to some of the highest graded freshmen in college football, according to PFF, Zion Branch of USC was the 10th highest graded safety out there in college. So that was pretty cool for him. Congrats, even though he didn't even play the full season. Who knows what will happen this year when he is 100% healthy. So looking forward to that. And then the record that the USC women's basketball have of 16-4 is the best since I believe the 93-94 season. And I'm pretty sure that is Lisa Leslie's year when she was playing at USC. Because Cheryl Miller had to be like late 80s, early 90s if I'm not mistaken. Because I think she was a little bit before. I could be wrong, but either way, I'm pretty sure that's when USC was really balling on the women's side at that time. So either way, still a nice thing to have how good some of the team is, especially compared to the men's side, because after that loss yesterday to Cal, it just seems like they're going down and don't really look like they're going to make the tournament at all unless they win the Pac-12 championship, which is going to be tough. But yeah, at least there's some bright spot on the basketball side for USC. And PFF did do some of the higher draft risers when it came to after that East and West Shrine Bowl game that they had the other week ago. And at the top of the list was Taj Washington, the ex-wide receiver from USC. So yes, I'm very happy that he is most likely going to get drafted higher. But yes, like I said, he was my Swiss Army knife and secret sleeper pick for the Chargers late in the draft. So now they're most likely going to have to try to get him earlier, but we'll see how high he ends up going. It'll be very interesting for him coming up soon. And then the USC baseball team recently had a lot of all preseason Pac-12 honors. Obviously, one of the better players, Austin Overn, was on that list. And then Josh Blum, and then Caden Aoki. Hopefully I'm saying those correct, and I don't know their exact positions, because I know Overn is, I want to say an outfielder, but I definitely know him from the record-breaking freshman year he had with stealing all those bases. But overall, it's nice to have some recognition for the USC baseball team going into next season. The new House of Victory signings when it comes to that. They have not signed an athlete so far, especially going into 2024, and now it's been a beach volleyball player in Molly Phillips. So maybe this will be the start of a lot of new players signing with the House of Victory and them getting them NIL deals and making name on their money, making name with their brand and on their name and making some money. So yeah, overall, looking forward to seeing what happens with them. And then there was a company called Athlon. I don't really remember where they're from or what they're all about, but they recently did a 3-round mock draft, and of course they included 4 USC Trojans in that mock draft. They had obviously Caleb going high, Brendan Rice, the wide receiver, running back Marshawn Lloyd, and the safety Kalen Bullock as well. So yeah, that's pretty cool to have pretty much the normal guys. Usually it was Caleb and Bullock being that high, but now both Brendan Rice and Marshawn Lloyd have bumped themselves up after that Reese Senior Bowl practices. So yes, hoping for the best when it comes to the NFL draft for USC in a couple of months. And the Chargers made a lot of good sneaky hires that I was not paying attention to the past couple of days, but we'll get into those right now. So yes, of course, they made it official with the offensive coordinator and Greg Roman. They also hired the same day the passing game coordinator in Marcus Brady. They also hired an assistant GM, Chet Alexander, and a director of player personnel in Corey Crowise. Hopefully I'm saying that correct. But yes, either way, congrats to these guys. Jim Harbaugh and Joe Ortiz building out that staff, not only for coaching, but behind the scenes as well, getting ready for the draft and contracts and all that stuff. So yes, looking forward to seeing who else they bring in, hopefully sooner rather than later. And there were 2 commitments for the Duke football team in the class of 2025, which is pretty cool. They had a 4-star linebacker in Cam Smith and a 3-star defensive back / wide receiver in William Felder Jr. as well. So they committed on Thursday, so that's pretty cool that they're already getting future prospects, and they're especially guys who can play on the defensive side, so it's not that surprising with Coach Manny Diaz coming from that side of the ball. But yes, at least the future is looking bright so far for the Duke football team. And then there was another 2025 4-star linebacker that made a Final 5 and put Duke in there. His name was Anthony Saka. And yeah, they have him right now, or he has them right now in his Final 5 already. So I don't think he said it in a commitment date anytime soon, but yes, hoping that Duke will beat out some of those really good teams on that Final 5 list. And then I forgot to mention that the other day, Stanford's women's college basketball coach, Tara Vanderveer, did pass Coach K, the ex-Duke coach, for like the most wins of all time in college basketball, which is pretty crazy because it was a big thing when he did it a while ago. I believe he passed Bob Knight at the time, but now there's obviously another person gaining on Coach K right now, and that's the UConn coach, Gino Auriemma. I believe he's only like 2 wins away from either tying or passing Coach K right now on the list. So yeah, he had it for a couple years being number 1 and with that pretty high margin, but yeah, now he's gotten beaten. So I'm pretty sure he'll have him on his podcast, be able to talk to them. I think he already talked to Tara Vanderveer, so he will be talking with Coach Gino Auriemma as well pretty soon. So that'll be pretty cool. A couple of ex-Duke players were involved within this trade deadline in the NBA today or on Thursday. It was Seth Curry on the Dallas Mavericks being traded to the Charlotte Hornets, and who knows if he's going to stay on there. He might get bought out, so you never know. Could always come to the Lakers. And then, yes, Harry Giles III was waived by the Brooklyn Nets with some of the moves that they made, and sucks because he was at least getting somewhat of playing time late in games and all that stuff, really late on their bench. But yeah, sadly he was waived, and we'll see if anybody else picks him up. But yeah, that's so far the bit of news that happened for the Duke side. And then, yes, the Lakers tonight played against the Denver Nuggets, and they ended up losing that game 106-114. Obviously, it was Kobe night 2/8/24, and they were unveiling a new statue. But yeah, it was just a dud. They weren't able to get this victory, sadly, for him, and they obviously did nothing at the trade deadline as well, because I haven't obviously spoken about any of their trades or anything like that during this video, or even made a short prior to this as well for Thursday, which sucked. But I just hope that they believe some of their guys who are injured right now will be healthy enough to come back and be able to help them out the rest of the year. That's what we can hope for, speaking to Gabe Vincent and Jared Vanderbilt. But yeah, we'll see. Even tonight, I don't think D'Angelo Russell played. I don't even think he was dressed out. I don't know if he was hurt or what happened, but would have been the same if you just traded him away. At least, they still would have had somebody coming in at some point. But yeah, there was a player who was waived that was pretty good, surprisingly, that he got waived, and Spencer Dinwiddie, when he got traded from the Nets to Toronto. And that's a guy that the Lakers were obviously interested in before, so they're definitely going to try to get him on the buyout market. There's a couple of other guys that might be involved in there as well, but I think Dinwiddie is right now at the top of their list, especially if they don't know when Gabe Vincent will return, and he's an LA guy, so you got to keep him away from another team in the LA Clippers, in my opinion. But yeah, overall, like I said, it was Kobe night, and they did reveal one of 3 statues apparently. That was kind of breaking news. Kind of just thought it was going to be one big statue, but this was the first of 3, and of course, as you can see, it's like him pointing up, and I was trying to figure out where the heck was that from, what game it was, because it was during, they said they were going to be part of during his playing career, and that was obviously when he got subbed out of that 81-point game against the Toronto Raptors, because he was wearing the number 8 white jersey, so that was pretty awesome and pretty cool. And I think another statue will be unveiled with just him and Gigi, his daughter, who they lost that same day, and then the 3rd statue will contain Kobe solo, but with the number 24 jersey, which I guess seeing right now it's not that surprising, just because they did retire both of his numbers 8 and 24 in the arena, so it's pretty obvious that they were going to have 2 statues of him as well, which is pretty cool, and then another 3rd statue to honor him and his daughter, which will be pretty awesome to see as well. So yeah, he'll be open to the public today on Friday. When you watch this, I'm definitely not going to be able to get down there, and I'm sure it's going to be a madhouse and everybody trying to get over there, especially because it's a Laker game as well. Tomorrow night they play against the Pelicans in the back-to-back, so we'll see if they get up for that game, because they're definitely going to need to start getting some more consecutive wins down the stretch. So we'll just see if I have any other stuff. No, we're all good. So yes, thanks for watching, people. Like and subscribe. Comment down below. Let me know what y'all think. Have a great day. Bye. We love you, Cole.